Welcome to The Change, a podcast about the changes in life that shake, break, and make us. I'm Laura, a 45-year-old writer, podcaster, and mum who has until recently always loved change.
And I'm Kathy, a 53-year-old writer, podcaster, and mum, and change is actually my kryptonite. We acknowledge the traditional owners of country throughout Australia on which this podcast is recorded and recognise the continuing connections to lands, waters and communities.
We pay our respects to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures and elders past and present. Mother-daughter duo Faye Browne and Lauren French are the owners and designers of Motto Fashions. Established by Faye and John Browne in 1985, Lauren officially joined the label in 2007. They're a big brand with small business values dedicated to empowering women through fashion, and my goodness, aren't they just? Okay. While the fashionable duo are excited to continue growing and empowering women for years to come, this year they launched their Welcome to the Effort era, a movement to encourage women to be the best version of themselves while sticking your middle finger up to systems that tell you how to look, act and feel. We love it and we love them. So a huge change welcome to Lauren and Faye.
Hi, Lauren and Faye. How are you going today?
Fantastic.
We're good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Laura and I are very excited to be chatting to you.
We are.
So we'll jump into our questions. Our first question is, you are clearly a very fashionable duo. Tell us how you got into the business and what you really love about it.
Wow, how we got into our business. Well, I started Motto in 1985 with my husband, mainly because I didn't want to wear a uniform and I wanted to wear my own designs, actually. So that started the whole thing, really. I just loved fashion and I just wanted to be part of it and I wanted to be fashion forward. I was born virtually that year and she came to work with me. She was under the table, so you were born into fashion. Oh, well, not. Yeah, whether she likes it or not. So I'm so blessed that we're actually together now, you know. It's fun. I guess the main thing, it's fun and you can be so you, and from there you just don't realise the power of fashion because it actually goes out into the world. So a part of you goes out everywhere and that's what everyone does. And I guess that's the real buzz that we get because people can just feel fabulous in fashion and why not, you know, because why not? Exactly. That's it.
Yeah, your clothes are so in a current trends at the moment as well. You've got such a mixture of colour and they're so vibrant, and I follow a few people online. I notice you're working with a few different influencers currently, which is exciting. Is it Sophie up in Newcastle who I saw wearing a beautiful two-piece red waistcoat suit, and it looked very cool.
Yeah, we use so many girls, so many different shapes and sizes, and it's so fun to see how they all style it because it's very different, obviously, to what we would have imagined. But yeah, Sophie's very, very cool, as they all are. Yeah. They're all gorgeous in their own way. But no, she's a bit of fun.
Yeah, we actually did that because people kept saying, "Hey, we want to see different sizes." But it's hard to get when you say real people to do something like that. You can hardly get a model to be a real size, actually. So it was fantastic that we collected a whole bunch of fantastic influencers that are all different shapes and sizes. That really helps people see what the clothes might look on them because we're only small, you know. Yeah.
I also love that you're using a range of ages of women because I found you guys through Maz Lifestyle. She is just a hilarious woman, but she's in her 60s. She's absolutely gorgeous. And she just loves fashion, like she thrives on it. And for me, I'm not in my 60s, but seeing older women still being incredibly fashionable and current is just wonderful because, we often feel quite invisible in that world. So
we hear that a lot.
Yeah, because Faye you turned 70, I believe, and it was at the same time as my mum turned 70. And so I was showing my mum all your amazing outfits that you were trying on. I was like, look at this. Frey's so cool. And I think it's really inspirational to look ahead and go, ooh, You know, you can totally rock 50, 60, 70, 80. You know, age is but a number, and it's good to see.
Well, it is, and it's actually how you feel. It's got everything to do with how you feel, because if you're not going to be comfortable in it, you know, like someone says, oh, you can't wear a short skirt because you're such and such. If you don't feel comfortable in it, no, you can't. But you might be 20 and not feel comfortable. You might be, you know, 40 and feel really bad in it, but you look amazing. But it's all about how you feel inside. So a lot of it is just a feeling, which is incredible. Even though I'm 70, wow. I never think for a minute, gee, I'm 70, I better not wear that. No way. But that's how people think. We actually have people on our Facebook page saying, hey, I'm, you know, 50, should I still be wearing this? We're thinking, huh?
We're like, yes.
Yes.
Well, who are you asking? And like, but if there might be a conservative, or call them conservative, I don't know, just a different personality in there, and they may think that's absolutely awful. I mean, I have people telling me I can't wear what I'm wearing because I'm too old. Like, huh?
You're like, excuse me?
Yeah.
I'm wearing
rock it.
And I look hot. Can I just say that?
You do. Totally, you do. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is a really perception, but it's all what's in our minds, you know. Our minds actually create it, and around fashion it definitely does, sadly, because we think everyone can rock, you know, whatever, and they don't even give it a try half the time just because they think they're too old.
Well, I think that is it, what you're saying. It's about how we feel, like the confidence that we have in ourselves. If we feel confident, we don't care what other people say. We don't care that, you know, someone says, don't wear that short skirt or whatever, because you feel confident. Whereas I won't feel very confident. So I'll be like, oh, maybe I won't wear that. It's when you're feeling confident that you can wear whatever you want. And if I'm not feeling confident, I might not wear bright colours or something like that on any given day. I might just wear my like really beige neutral wardrobe because I just want to hide away into the shadows. Whereas actually probably they're the days that I need to rock the confident colours, because sometimes when you put them on, that comes out as well.
Yeah, your personality comes out. There's so much in that.
Yeah, no, but clothes have the power to make you feel a certain way, right? And I think people can underestimate the power of good clothes or fashion and kind of make it seem like it's an irrelevant, silly thing. But actually, feeling good in what you wear is really important, and you are both helping women to feel good, which is it's a superpower.
Yeah, but we hope so.
We want our clothes to really like portray a sense of confidence, and I think that, you know, motto is really about bold styling, and we find that women, you know, they have their babies and everything's about their kids, and when they're in primary school you just want to be comfy, you want to be able to lift them into the car and do all that stuff. But then as soon as women sort of hit that age where maybe their kids don't rely on them as much anymore, then suddenly they're going, well, what now? And I think that people can really lose themselves in that moment, and that's kind of when they come and find all these bright colours that they haven't worn for so long, and it's really exciting. It's like getting a whole new perception on life, and that's when people start to get a little bit they start to take more risks with their fashion, and they love it, and it's addictive, and then it kind of continues on.
I found I was going through that stage. I had 3 children under the age of 4, and I lost myself as soon as, I don't know what it was, as soon as I handled the kids, you know what I mean? I totally didn't know who I was, and I had to reinvent myself because I was just wearing black, actually. In a cool way, mind you, but just wearing black. So I wanted to experiment with more colours. And it did actually change my world, really.
Yeah, I think it definitely has that.
We all go through that. So it's stages, it's life stages, I reckon. Yeah. And that, apart from, you know, changing shape after the kids, that's another thing that's a big deal. You know, wearing your I don't know, your comfy tight gear, whatever that might be, you know, whether it's Q or one of these really fitted labels, and then you find you're a different shape and you can't go there anymore. And you think after the kids are a little bit older, you can just go back there and shop, but it doesn't feel right. And then what do?
You're so different.
You've got to find a person to say, hey, I think I'm like her, and I'll wear that, or someone who has your colouring, or do a course, or whatever it is. You do need to make those changes, and I think we're all smart enough that we do. I mean, Australia's lucky. We have pretty intelligent women, you know.
Pretty evolved.
We're lucky that Melbourne's one of the fashion capitals, hey.
Oh, my gosh.
We're in New South Wales. I'm in Wollongong.
I'm in Newcastle, but I am coming down to Melbourne soon. I love Melbourne, for shopping especially. I was going to ask sort of on that really about trends, you know, how fashion really is about changing trends. And Kathy and I were both talking just off mic before about bubble skirts and whether or not we're going to be wearing those again soon. We've seen them. Not sure I want to wear them. Yeah.
Funny, we did an overseas trip recently and bubble skirts were everywhere. Wow. So our eye is very tuned into it already and we love them. And, you know, there's like a bubble skirt and then there's a bubble skirt. You can get one that's quite sleek and silky and beautiful and drapey, or you can get one that really puffs out.
Yep.
So you got to choose what's right for you. And I think I feel like if you almost remember wearing it already, you're less inclined to want to go back there. Mm-hmm. But for a lot of people, it's new and it's fun and it's whimsical. And I just think if you find one that's flattering, that's going to be the key with the bubble skirt trend, I think. Find one that flatters. Stay tuned. Motto might just have one. That's going to be what works because, you know, you think about being like that really cutesy kind of girl that goes to like festivals or something. Or 80s. That's the bubble skirt look. But imagine something really gorgeous and drapey and long, and you can do your combat boots with it in a big chunky jumper. Yeah, Kathy, I could see you in that
personality. That's it. Yeah.
So there's a million ways you can wear something. It's about how you put things together. It's not about the pieces, and that's what me and Mum try and really portray all the time.
Capture everyone. Yeah. Just a side note on the bubble trend. Our first skirt was a bubble skirt when we first started in business.
In the 80s.
Right, there you go.
There you go.
It was everywhere and it suited everyone. So you do find your personality in a trend. I think that's what's so fantastic about trends. Trends are about just some inspiration. It's not about copying. It's inspiration and, hey, I can do that. Oh, yeah, a big collar, yeah, I can do that now. And a brooch, oh, yeah, I'll try that. It's not about the whole thing. So a bubble skirt is it's all the different lengths. And like you say, we have some fabulous ones. The long version will definitely be something on.
I remember doing the bubble skirt in 85, 86, 87, you know. So I did it then. And it's like terrifying to think, no, I'm not the person I was in the 80s because I was 14, 15, 16. I am not that age anymore. In fact, my daughters are older than that now. So I want that sophisticated bubble. Like I don't want the short, teeny, tiny bubble that I wore when I was 16 because I'm not 16 anymore. But
yeah, I think all trends really do start with a younger generation because they take more risk. They probably buy a lot more fast fashion, so they're not looking at longevity necessarily when they're shopping. And I think that those trends, once we start to see it, we digest it. Like just think about the eyebrow trend. When it came in, it was like that big eyebrow and everyone's like, holy no, I can't do that. I mean, I even said it when my mum's like, can I just thicken up your eyebrows? And she got the pencil out. And I was like, I felt like I had these like monobrow huge things on my face.
It wasn't.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But that's the thing. It's like the same with a trend. Your eye gets used to it. You see your daughter. Then you slowly start to other brands like Motto, for example. We want to keep our customers current. So we just adapt it and say, okay, our customers suit this type of, you know, silhouette. How can we inject that trend into that? Because otherwise you're going to be wearing stuff that you wore 30 years ago if we never evolve. So anyway, the bubble's cool.
The bubble's, yay.
But, you know, imagine with a beautiful fitted blazer, you know, big earrings, and like you say, the boots, but your style of shoe, whether it be sneakers even, it looks sensational. That's not odd. It's not at all. Mini would be odd, you know, because it's a little bit ballerina-like, but you want to do the long version.
Longer. Obviously, Motto has been around, you know, as you said at the start there, Faith, since the 80s. What are some of the biggest changes that you've noticed in how, or your customer base maybe, or just fashion? You know, now we've got these big brands like Shein, you know, out of China operate on huge levels. What's the biggest changes and I guess challenges that you've had to face?
Well, definitely more competition because when I say that, no, not really. Probably online. Now it's, so, you know, before it was a lot of competition just in Melbourne or wherever we were, but now it's worldwide. So you do have to compete on a world stage, and I guess that would have to be the biggest deal, yeah. But then we have more access to everything too. I mean, you know, with every bad situation comes something amazing, and to us, we can just go online and check out what everybody's doing. We couldn't do that before. We'd actually have to travel, go to Paris, miss my Paris trips, go to New York. You have to go everywhere to check all this stuff out, but not now. You go online. It's easy. It's easy. And it's not to copy either. It's just to get inspired again and just to see where we fit and to see where our ladies fit. So we can inspire as we get inspired.
Yeah. And I suppose when you're making like really good quality clothes, and I say that because, I am wearing one of your jackets today, and I have some of your pants. When they're good quality, people don't mind paying for good quality clothing. So I think that's where the fast fashion and the price points, people will pay when they know they're getting good quality, and good customer service and those sorts of things. And they definitely resonate with all of your customers. And that's testament from, your Facebook groups and everyone that follows you guys on Instagram and everything. So, yeah.
Community.
Yeah. Well, personal, you might have a different view. I would actually pay the price isn't really the end thing. As long as I think it's worth it, I don't mind. It's not about price. I don't say, I only want to pay $20 for a pair of shorts. No, you fall in. Well, I might say that. Hang on, I'll backtrack. I might say I only want to pay, let's be realistic, $100 for a pair of pants. And I go out and I find one that's absolutely amazing for $150. Well, I'm going to spend $150, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that's what the thing is now. It's not about the price, because often you buy something that's $20 and really it's only worth $5.
You've got to find the right fit and something that's flattering, and I think that's part of
fit is so important.
Yeah, it's almost like there's the trend and you want to look current, but I think underneath that, which is even more important, is it has to suit your body shape. And that comes back to kind of that confidence thing. So like with the bubble skirt, you're not going to wear something that's not flattering, but if it makes you feel good, which usually you look good, you feel good, they kind of go hand in hand. That's when I think that you've got to invest, because, as we sort of get past that teenager stage, I think that we're looking probably for a little bit more longevity. Our houses, we only have so much we can fit. Like my daughter, who's 10, she just keeps cramming it in there. She'll just put it on the floor. She doesn't care, on the bed. But if I don't have everything sort of neat in my wardrobe, it's just a bit stressful. So it's like if I put something in, something's coming out. So it's like worth that.
I think
I
so true
to give something in.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot of empty rooms now. The kids have moved out, but really, I have something that's 45 years old that I bought. Oh, I've got to say Paris again. Just quite by accident, I'm saying Paris. But that was an outfit I bought 45 years ago, which I still have.
Love that.
You've got to be particular, but if you know yourself, experiment. I think experimenting is part of knowing yourself with fashion. It's good.
Having fun.
Yeah.
And I guess that brings us to your current campaign, which we absolutely love. So it's Welcome to Your Effort Era campaign. And as I said, we love it as women in our midlives who also we love clothes. We know that creeping sense of invisibility and being told what you can and can't wear. So what made you come up with that campaign? And, how's it going and what's next for it, I guess?
It's going well. It's resonated really well with customers. And I guess the purpose of that is we needed something that was going to stand out, because we could have used words like, embracing women, feel confident, feel empowered, but those words really, they don't have impact because people use them and they don't mean them. So we wanted something that truly was a bit of a shock value, that made people stop and actually think about what they're doing. And I think Faye really is the ultimate F-it era poster child. She's literally about to go up into all of our stores as big banners in the window. With
exciting.
You knew that? Oh, well, now she knows. Go to a shop, go to a motto shop, you'll see it. Because it needs to be a topic and it needs to be spoken about, and women and men do feel invisible when they get to it just happens, right? And it takes everyone quite by surprise. And I think it's time to stop that, because we're all going to get there. We're all going to feel it. So let's change the narrative around it, because it's the people around us potentially that I don't know, that maybe are contributing to the way that we're feeling. So let's say it loud and proud that we're not going to stop being us. You do you, and it does not matter what your neighbour thinks or what your daughter thinks. You've got to do you, and that is ultimately the effort era.
Yeah, you do use my favourite line actually at the moment, because people just hold back, and it's all, it's holding back themselves and their own lives.
And life's too short.
Oh,
yeah. No, go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's such an important message, isn't it? And the thing is, I've read lots of things about ageism, and it's the only ism that we all experience, but because a younger woman is just an older woman in waiting, right? So we're all going to be old women eventually. So why would you say to an older person, you can't wear that, because that's going to be you? Why would you? It's such a short-sighted thing to say, isn't it? And think.
Yeah, and we've noticed with our communities, because we can get very close to these people, so it spreads far and wide. But we've noticed that once women truly start to wear what they were too scared to, and then they try it and they find what fits for them, and what works and what makes them feel good, they kind of blossom into this empowered and confident, and it's like another person comes out. It's like their alter ego actually comes out that they've been too scared to tap into, and the clothes are almost like that costume that can bring it out. And we've seen it time and time again when we've dressed women, or it's been a relationship on social media. They have completely transformed, haven't they?
Oh, they have. What I love is the fact that I don't know if I love this part of it, but we all think that we, as we age, we disappear and we become invisible. But you know what? That's our responsibility. I'm not saying motto, but I'm saying all women need to take that responsibility. So who's going to make that difference? What, are people going to start looking at you for no reason, or just knowing you're alive? You know what I mean? You have to project that, and you have to be that. So you create that essence around you, and you bring it with you everywhere you go. And I think fashion helps that.
Oh, definitely it does.
Yeah, 100%. We did an episode in season 2. Kathy and I were talking about this theme of dressing as you get older, and whether or not kind of demure sort of dressing is the right, well, it wasn't quite the word, but as we get older. There was a piece was it The Cut, Kathy, I think it was, and they were talking about, that sort of style of dressing, and how, you should, as you get older, wear more demure pieces. And we kind of discussed it and were like, I don't think we agree. And we were talking about you, and I think, no, you should just wear what feels comfortable. And it's such a shame. I think personally, through my 20s, I used to hate my arms and legs, and I always used to wear far too much clothing. And so now I don't, and I've never had so many little short frocks in my wardrobe, and now I'm in my mid-40s and I don't care.
Yeah, you're in your effort era. Well done.
Yes.
Actually, before the effort era, I can't believe I had, not that I want to bring cancer into it, because it's just happened 12 years ago, but what I learned through that was the fact that I used to do that to myself, and now I look back at photos, I look back and I think, why didn't I just love myself back then? I look hot, whereas you do that right throughout your life, and then you get to a point where you're old, wrinkled, and, you don't know what you're doing, and you think, okay, I should have taken
should have appreciated that.
Yeah.
I should have showed those legs, and I should have gone out and wanted my
I saw like a meme or something on Insta last night that said, I wish I was as fat as I thought I was when I was 16 and as tired as I thought I was before I had kids.
Yeah. So true. All those young, beautiful girls that have such low confidence, and I know that it's such a common experience for young women, and you look at them and think they're so gorgeous, and they're like, oh no, I'm fat, or whatever it is. And I felt exactly the same. It's same as you. Yeah. I look back at photos and go, oh, what a waste.
Yeah, but then
what a waste of time.
But then I think as well, like, of course they're influenced by things around them, and I think it's part of being that age. But what if they started seeing their mum and their aunties, other women in their lives, their teachers, dressing like they were rocking every single outfit through? What if they saw their teachers be completely confident from within? I'm sure there are many out there that are, so I'm not saying they're not, but so many girls see their mums saying, "Oh, I don't look good in this," or "Oh, I look a bit fat." Or, I don't know things like that. But it really, like, let's change that dynamic. That's what the effort era is about. It will trickle through, but like, we've got to be empowered as the mature women to be changing that narrative, because our kids aren't born with those thoughts.
That's right.
They just, so like I feel like this could be a complete movement. and people just need to really be themselves, because there's a lot of different people out there. We don't have to fit into a box.
No. Obviously, you get loads of great feedback. We've spoken about, the great work that you're doing with the Effort Era campaign. Do you ever get judged by people for what you wear? And I just wondered if you had any kind of good clapbacks for the people that are mean, if there are any, or is it all beautiful and positive online? How do you find the feedback mostly?
I get some horrible stuff said
to
me.
Oh,
yeah, and I've got a great comeback now.
Okay, good. What is it?
Like here I am in something that obviously looks pretty good, and most people are saying, wow, and then they say, oh, my God, look at her neck. I mean, that's not the good one. Okay, that's the good one. To that, I said something along the lines, well, I'm 70, of course I have rings around my neck. That's I'm alive. I'm a real person. But what I usually say is, hey, do you really feel good now putting down one of your sisters? That's the kind of
yeah.
And no one replies to that. It's like, how do you feel after saying that? I'm like, yuck.
Yeah.
Really? You want to do that to another woman?
Yeah. You do put yourself out there, and people on the internet can be awful for lots of different reasons. And I think that it's good to, I like the, how does that make you feel? Because often those women, and they often are women commenting on other women's bodies, are just jealous. They're possibly just think you look amazing, really, the truth of it.
They actually feel they can't do it. And actually, if I could speak to them, I'd give them a dress change and they'd probably feel amazing.
Yeah.
That's probably what happens.
As you say, it is really sad when it's usually other women and they're putting you down to make themselves feel better, but does it really make themselves, like, are they that miserable that they have to bring everyone else down to being miserable instead of trying to find a way to feel good and, look good, or, whack a bright coloured top on, or a black top if that's what you want to wear. It doesn't, and just say, fuck it, I look happy and I feel great in this, and be damned with the rest of you.
Yeah. I think a lot of women don't make the effort either.
Yes, indeed.
What they do, they keep wearing the same clothing they've worn for the past 10 years. They don't want to invest themselves because they don't feel worth it in any case. And then, but they're getting older, but their clothes are, 10 years older, do you know what I mean? And that makes them look older in any case, but they don't evolve, they don't change, which means their mind hasn't evolved. That's my opinion, because your clothing is reflecting what's in your mind anyway. And if they could see that, wow, that's what I reckon. They've got to be able to see it. They've got to be able to see it themselves, but they don't. They don't make an effort. I think we give up as soon as we reach a certain age, and we think, oh, okay, don't have to do that anymore. I won't get a wax. I won't dye my hair. I've got a thing about grey hair, but I won't go into that. That's just me, because I look really bad with grey hair. That's what happens. But, you do you. Gives you confidence.
That's it, yeah.
There's another thing that as an older woman working in the fashion industry, you've got a lot of gorgeous girls around you all the time, and you're looking at, I'm over that now. That was part of the effort era for me too. But that did start to creep into my mind, like, do I compete? Do I look as good as them? Which is ridiculous, because of course not. But I just noticed that was in there, and I wonder how many people go through that, they're in an environment where there are young people and they feel that they're inferior for some reason. I mean, I'm definitely over that now, but I'm just saying that was there. Interesting.
I guess rather than competing with the younger women that are around us, doing what works for us, being confident in what we wear at our age and at our stage in life is far more important than trying to be 20 or trying to be 30. Just be me at my age and fuck everyone else around me,
Well said. Well said.
Yes.
Are there any other changes, big or small, that are still left for you guys to make in your lives?
Well, probably millions.
Millions.
Great.
Yeah, we're always looking to improve and to push boundaries and to keep inspiring women, and women change. Well, people change because things are around, technology evolves. So what is next for Motto? A lot. So much, we don't even have enough time to go through it. It's going to be a wild next year and a half. I hope we're on a roller coaster and we're absolutely loving it. So we say, get on the train, get off the train. We're going full steam ahead.
That's what you say to everyone, you're either on the train or get off.
Yeah. and our staff just go toot toot, and then we know they're on the train. All right,
that's right. That's how you like.
yeah.
Love it.
What can we expect for summer? You know, like the exciting things that we can.
Yeah, what are we going to be wearing at Christmas Day or whatever?
Christmas Day, you'll definitely be wearing a matching set. So it could be a vibrant printed resort style silky shirt and baggy pant, or you could go for something a little bit more laid back, like a natural fibre, washed down look navy. Elevated tracksuit in a very fancy fabric. So really, I think the biggest thing, there's there's a lot of different trends, right? But matching top and bottom are really easy, easy to do, right?
Everyone can do that at any age, which is fabulous. And the other thing I'm going to throw in there is probably the mismatch. So there's the total match and there's the total mismatch, where you go for your bubble skirt and your combat boots and I don't know.
Yeah, it's like we're opposites
bralette or something. Yeah, something completely different with a denim jacket over the top. My job, probably go bling. What will you do?
I'll probably go a bit cash because it's a big day for on the feet, so I'll be going cash. She'll definitely be dressed up.
I've got to do my heels.
Yeah,
Of
course, no, too much walking around for that. But yeah, I think a set. I can see most women. I think will be in some form of a matching set.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I love a pants.
Easy,
very comfy, but cool.
Comfy but cool, of course. Yeah,
and I guess because there's that it expands a little bit. So with all the food and everything, all the good things that happen at Christmas time, you want to be relaxed and comfortable and feel good and beautiful as well.
That's right. No tight, wasted things on Christmas Day, that's for sure.
You need that waist to expand, definitely.
Yes,
you do. And what about you guys personally? Have you got any kind of goals yet to achieve, big changes you want to make in your own lives outside of Motto?
Well, for me, my deep core belief is that the older I get, the more creative I get. The older I get, the better I get. And it just opens up my world to a whole lot of stuff. I mean, I'm really into creative stuff. I mean, I paint, but I don't intend to retire. I'm saying to Lauren, maybe when I'm 85, unless she kicks me out before then. So I just look forward to really getting dressed up every single day and just
love that.
Going for it. I don't want to hold anything back. Is that okay?
I didn't think you were going anywhere. I'll be trying to get her out at 85. She will not be going anywhere. Oh, my gosh, trust me.
Hey, Lauren, that sounds like there's no transfer of generational wealth coming to you.
Yeah.
Anytime soon. It's a little bit like my parents. They're not going anywhere in any hurry, and I'm in my mid-50s, and it's like, that transfer of generational wealth, I think it's passed me over. It might go to my kids.
Yeah. Well, funny about that, I sat my kids down when they were about 15, 16 and 17 and said, look, we're going to live till we're 100 and by then you'll all be 70. So I reckon you're going to have to make your own wealth or it's all going to charity. And I've always said that. So unless they're rich, they're not getting my money, forget
it. Fair enough.
That's totally fair. They're working hard anyway. Obviously, Lauren's working hard. Yeah.
She's working hard. She wants it.
For me, I've got this pipe, well, it's not a pipe dream. It's a little handshake with my husband it's 12 years away, so I've still got a while, but when I'm 50, me and him are going to go to Italy for 6 months. So until then, we're going to hustle like absolute crazy, keep that up our sleeve because we know that's coming, and it's just get as far as we can go together, push boundaries, be crazy, be wild, say yes to everything, don't hold back. And then when I'm 50, I'm going to Lake Como and I'm going to drink wine for 6 months.
Sounds lovely.
A goal.
What a great goal. Yeah.
Go there and come back with a heap of ideas.
That's fine. Yeah, I don't care, but I'm going there and I'm only going with him and my kids aren't coming. No, sorry. No, you got to work here. You got to work.
And looking after the grandkids there, babe.
Oh, yes. See, she wants to work.
Probably great-grandkids by then.
For our very final question, we always ask our guests, whatever their age, because our podcast is called The Change, which is, in part reference to this midlife experience of all women, peri or menopause. I guess we want to know what your experience or feeling is towards the change or peri or menopause. And if you have any advice, Faye, or if you have any thoughts about it coming to you, Lauren.
Well, I think that everyone will be different. What I did was I went on hormone replacement therapy, and I'm an advocate for that. And as long as it's just minimal doses and it keeps you strong and healthy, and to me it keeps you young. That's what I did. But apart from that, I did everything under the sun that you call natural, and eat well, exercise, do all those things that people don't actually.
No, because it's boring.
Underestimate the importance of. There's no magic drug. I do take.
There might be by the time.
Yeah, I know.
I have to worry. I'm hoping there is.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think that I've got cancer as well, so that's
double whammy.
Glitch. That's a bit of a glitch in there. But you can't underestimate good food, exercise, and a lot of sex. No, that was joking.
Great.
Damn. And also, really, I guess in all that, don't give up on yourself. That's the main thing, because I think people just give up. I don't know, give themselves to doctors, give themselves to family, give themselves to everyone around them, and they actually forget about themselves and they give up on themselves, and that's part of fashion as well. But really, that's the main thing. I'm going to say to everyone, just don't give up on yourself ever. And if you never give up, you get there. Never, ever, ever give up. Full stop. Yeah.
You know what was really good that could be something in there for me? All these things I've got to look forward to. I'm 30. I've just turned 38. But I think what was really, really good, and I'm starting to share what I can with my daughter, is Mum told me all the bits of what I've got to expect. So when I get there, I'm not shocked, and I don't think there's something wrong with me. She told me all the details, all the inside private bits. So I am very aware of what is going to come. So as soon as it starts, A, I think I'm normal. B, I'm not shy to talk about it because we talked about it, and I'm even talking about what happens when you're going to get your period soon and all that stuff that comes out of your body. What is that? And I think that conversation is really important to have with our kids, because you'll forget about the early stages soon, because you know what I mean.
It's been so long ago.
You probably you don't remember what happened to you 20 years ago, on a day-to-day basis, but she did share stuff with me. So now I'm really I know about it, and I'm aware of what could happen, because you don't really go and learn about stuff until you need to. Well, I know.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm prepared. I'm ready. I'm excited.
I can remember something. Dry badge.
Yeah, the dry badge. I remember the dry badge.
Oh, the dry badge, yeah.
I also, what I do remember is that the first day you got your period. I don't know if this is worth talking about, but it's interesting, the fact that, hey, you got your period. Let's have a party and invite all your friends. We're not just going to celebrate. She didn't want to know that.
Maybe we should have a period party. Yeah,
you could have.
Yeah, no, I don't remember that, but I don't want to have a period. No. But that could be cool. That's a cool thing.
You could have a menopause party, an end of period party.
Oh, I think an end of period party.
Unfortunately, you don't really know when you hit menopause. No. Slow progression over a long, some can last even 20 years. So you don't know, but you know what? I'm celebrating now.
Yeah, have a party.
Effort. Yeah. I'm celebrating. Just a party any excuse.
Any day.
It's a party every day. Thank you.
Yeah, I like your attitude. I think it's very good. Yeah, very, very youthful as well as your appearance, Faye. I think it's great. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you for that. I do think it comes from your mind. Yes, definitely exercise, food, and all the right things. But you know what? There's a lot to what goes on in your head, and I think that projects.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been absolutely wonderful. I'm very excited for the fashion trends that are coming. I'm excited to see maybe a sexy bubble skirt.
Kathy, I'm going to send you one as soon as it comes in. Laura, you're getting one. Everyone's getting bubble skirt.
Yay. Bubble skirts for all.
A sexy bubble skirt sounds absolutely wonderful. Not the short, tiny skirt that I had in the 80s.
No, it's not the one that pokes out. No, you can kind of see up.
You're going to get the sexy version.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. It sounds like heaven.
Sexy one.
So, I think I'm very excited. What about you, Laura?
Yeah. I'm totally. I'm here for it. Yep, here for all the fashion trends and all of them, the matching set, etc. Yeah, I can't wait.
What a chat!
I love them. Yeah, I knew we would. I knew we'd love them because I love them online. So I knew real life, they'd be great.
I still think it's hilarious that I was following
I know.
one and you were following the other.
Yeah.
And we just had never actually made that connection.
I know. And
quite a bit, actually. It's funny how we are a little bit in sync like that. But, but I think the more I think about their fuck it era campaign, I really think that, you know, Faye is on the money. It's about confidence. It's about doing what feels good for you, and that will, you know, exude everything else, you know. Do you, and that's the thing that matters.
That's absolutely right. And, you know, even when you said about wearing the days where you feel like shit and you don't, you know, you kind of hide under your beige whatever tracksuit is probably the days you need to put on your pretty colourful jacket, cardigan, jumper, whatever, and kind of feel better, because clothes do have the power to make us feel good, and we shouldn't underestimate their power for us and how they make us feel. I think and they're doing such a great job, and I think it's a really inspiring business model too, to have mum and daughter, and the way they interact with each other is very natural, and I think you can tell they're a good team, right, for the business. Yeah.
Do you have any other like really key takeaways? Or
absolutely. I think when I thought what Faye was talking about, you know, not letting go, I guess, of yourself, and I think that is something that it's very easy to do as a woman, isn't it? You have, whether that's in your work, whether that's when you have children, whether that's when you have grandchildren, whether that's, you know, when you're in the perimenopausal era. Like, I think it's important, whatever shape, size, wherever you're at in life, to just try and retain something of yourself. And that can be, you know, what she was saying. She obviously she likes to dye her hair. She's mentioned grey hair. And I think that obviously for some women, absolutely rock the grey hair. And we follow a number of women on Instagram that are like that. But I think what she's sort of saying is that for you, whatever it is, try and hold on to something that makes you feel good, because the way that you look good makes you feel good. And it's that symbiotic relationship, isn't it? Because it's hard sometimes, but sometimes you need to do those things, treat yourself well in order to feel good.
And I think it is around those things that, you know, that we hold on to, that remind us that we're still people, that we're not just mum, or we're not just the employee, or we're not just the whatever. And I'm really trying to remove just from my vocabulary, you know, same way as we say, oh, I should do this. I'm not just a mum. I'm not just a project officer, or I'm not just a whatever. I am a mum. And a lot of people don't get that privilege. So, you know, or I am in my 50s, and really trying to reframe that in my own mind, that as much as, you know, and I know that when my articles have gone, you know, viral, some of the feedback has been around that I need to feel confident. I need to not feel invisible. And they're right to some degree. Like, it is very easy to slip into invisibility if you feel invisible in yourself. No one else can help me feel anything other than how I feel. You can go to counselling, you can do all the work, which I do. But I think it is around holding on to something that helps you feel good and reminds you who you are.
That's right. And it's at every age, right? It's not just, you know, talking about even Faye, who's very beautiful at 70, looking back over her life and saying, I wish I'd, you know, been more brave with my choices or what have you in her earlier years. And, you know, like I said, I felt the same way. And I think there's never too late to start. You know, she's 70, she looks absolutely amazing, and she will look amazing, no doubt, into her 80s as well. And what she said as well about being surrounded by young women, obviously working with her daughter Lauren, who's very glamorous and gorgeous, too, that makes, you know, it's hard, isn't it? And I know, we worked at Mamma Mia when there was lots of young women around us, and it's hard to sometimes feel okay being older or just being the age that we are. So I think you do have to just go, well, I am who I am, and I had that moment, and I was 20 once, and I was 30 once, and now this. And this is what makes me feel good, and just trying to embrace it. And, you know, the simple act of putting on a nice blazer or a nice, you know, there are things that you can do any day of the week, even if you're feeling bloated or a bit grim. That could always make, I know, a good jacket always makes me feel good.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's such a great chat, and
a really good chat.
Yeah, they're a great duo, and get online, find out all about them. Motto Fashions, it's Lauren and Faye. They were fabulous.
Thanks for listening to The Change, a fully independent podcast. Whether you're seeking inspiration, curious about change, or just here for the great banter, we'd love you to make The Change your new go-to podcast.
And even better, send us your voice notes or questions about change. We'll use them on the show. Email us at changepod2023@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram at _change_pod. Find us wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram for more on The Change.